The following episode of the Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout. Hello my fellow Disney fans and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble why not celebrate the magic of Disney? And today we're dusting off our swords, shining our boots and shouting all for one and one for all! Because we're going to be talking about Mickey, Donald and Goofy in The Three Musketeers, released direct to video in 2004. Now this Disney gem takes our favorite trio, the ever lovable Mickey Mouse, the ever anxious Goofy, and the delightfully clumsy Goofy, and drops them right into a world of royal intrigue, friendship, and high-flying adventure. It's a tale of courage, comedy, and classic Disney heart, with a dash of slapstick and a sprinkle of opera for good measure. So grab your feathered hats and tune those trumpets, because in today's episode we're breaking down how this movie brought 17th century Paris to life, why it became a fan favorite, and what makes this trio's chemistry timeless. On guard, listeners! Let's jump into Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in The Three Musketeers. Now, when Disney was trying to develop a Mickey Mouse feature film in the early 1940s, one of the ideas considered was The Three Musketeers, but it was abandoned because the original novel requires 4 characters: the titular Musketeers and D'Artagnan. And the filmmakers found it difficult to come up with a good combination of established characters to fill the parts. 60 plus years later, the problem was solved by having Mickey, Donald, and Goofy not play the original Three Musketeers, and thus tell a story that parallels the original, but it's not strictly an adaptation of it. The original Musketeers, incidentally, are the ones who saved the gang in the beginning of the film, and their autographs are in the hat that they gave Mickey. So this is an interesting start. We have a turtle trying to get the narrator, not the one from Winnie the Pooh, to get ready for telling the story.
All for one. Hey!
And I don't think the narrator's a fan of music. The turtle is the troubadour, and he's voiced by Mr. Nations of the World himself, Mr. Rob Paulson, who was last seen as Jacques, who transformed into Sir Hugh, and was also the baker in Cinderella 2, top right of your screens. The narrator is too invested in his book, and he's heading the wrong way for the stage, leading to the troubadour having to take over instead. Now, despite the stage fright at the start, he takes it in his stride and starts telling the story of the Three Musketeers.
Don't worry, Mickey. You'll grow into it.
Now, these younger versions of our trio are just adorable. There isn't so much a composer for the music of the film, per se, and you'll see why shortly. There are 7 songs written for the film by Chris Otsuki, but not in the way you would expect. Points and trophies, trophy achievement hunting! And you'll know that as the can-can from Orpheus in the Underworld by Jacques Offenbach. That's how Chris is involved with the music. He writes the lyrics over these pieces of classical music. Our trio are voiced here by the late... So, I'm going to get a bit sentimental here for a moment, because honestly, I could write all day about this guy. The first of our trio is, of course, Mickey, and he's voiced by the late Disney legend Wayne Allwine, who had been voicing Mickey since 1983 in Mickey's Christmas Carol, right up to his passing in 2009 at the age of 62, with special films of the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse released after his passing, and the film Space Adventure was dedicated to his memory. It's hard to sum up the legacy and impact Wayne had on the character, and he was awarded the status of Disney legend in 2008, and by that time he had been voicing Mickey for over 30 years, a year before he passed, where his memorial lies at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, as well as his then wife, the late Russi Taylor, who had passed away 10 years later in 2019. Russi would be known for voicing Minnie right up until her passing, and we'll see when we get to future episodes here in the Kingdom of Isolation that the chemistry between these two legends resonates so well both on and off screen. Russi too would also become a Disney legend the same year as Wayne, and her grave lies next to Wayne's at Forest Lawn Memorial Park. The couple got married in 1991 and were together right up until Wayne's final days, where he would pass away from diabetes while Russi battled colon cancer. At least they're reunited once more. They will sorely be missed. Russi was, of course, last seen here in the Kingdom of Isolation as the fairy godmother in Cinderella 2. I really need to do a career retrospective on these two at some point, especially when they were the cornerstone of Disney for a number of decades and throughout our childhoods. Wayne is, of course, no stranger to the Kingdom of Isolation himself, as he was also one of the henchmen in the Black Cauldron, and he even voiced Mickey throughout the Kingdom Hearts franchise, including in the PS4 re-releases of Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 in 2017. His wonderful understudy, Brett Iwan, would become the new voice of Mickey officially in 2009, and we would get to hear him in action in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, Donald is voiced by Tony Anselmo and has done so since 1986. The same year, he was in Basil the Great Mouse Detective as one of the guards. He too would become a Disney legend in 2009, a year after Wayne and Russi, and Tony would also voice Donald since the beginning of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. Same goes for Goofy's voice actor Bill Farmer, who was last seen here in the Kingdom of Isolation in an Extremely Goofy movie. Now, Bill, like Tony, would also become a Disney legend in 2009.
Yes, sir. Janitors today, Musketeers tomorrow.
Honestly, I love his optimism. He shows Pluto that the Musketeers autographed his hat. Aramis, Porthos, Athos, and D'Artagnan. An adaptation of Alexandre Dumas's Three Musketeers with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy as the Musketeers was planned during the 1980s at Walt Disney Animation Studios. In 1983, storyboard artists Steve Hullett and Pete Young developed the project with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and Jose Carioca, who was from Saludos Amigos and The Three Caballeros, as the Musketeers. But it fell into development hell. In 2002, in honor of Mickey's 75th anniversary, a featurette entitled The Search of Mickey Mouse was announced. And the project was about Mickey, who gets kidnapped by unknown forces, forcing Minnie to enlist Basil of Baker Street to investigate his disappearance, and later encounters one character from Disney's animated film canon, such as Alice, Peter Pan, Robin Hood, and Aladdin. The project suffered script problems and with multiple cameos being thought to be too gimmicky. After the cancellation of the latter project, a feature film based on the Three Musketeers with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in the lead roles was greenlit instead, indicating that Hullett and Young's project had been revived, but the film did not include Jose Carioca as in the early development. Supervising animators are Simon Ashton for Mickey, Minnie, and Pluto, Noel Cleary for Goofy and Clarabelle, Adam Murphy for Pete and the Beagle Boys, and Mike Sutherland and Nadine Westerbarky for Donald and Daisy. Goofy is the only main character out of Mickey and Donald, out of the trio, to not appear in his classic outfit. Outside of commercials and video games, this is the last time Disney's Sensational Six appeared in traditional animation until the short-lived miniseries Goofy in How to Stay at Home, which I would assume was done during the pandemic. Upstairs, Pete's about to have a shower, wearing his peg leg for the first time since the 1930s, which used to be a signature trademark for him. Pete was also last seen in an Extremely Goofy movie, voiced again by...
Guess who?
Disney legend, Jim Cummings! Wait, hold on, what? What do you mean he's not a Disney legend? Something doesn't add up here. He's won 2 Annie Awards, one for Darkwing Duck and Goofy Troop. I mean, seriously, what do you mean he's not a Disney legend? All this time and he's never received that? He's never received the honor?
Unacceptable!
He's a legend and should be awarded as such. Should I start doing Kingdom of Isolation awards? Maybe then he'll be able to claim the honor of being a Disney legend, and rightly so. Anyway, if you want me to just start doing Kingdom of Isolation awards, let me know in the comments.
Humpty Dumpty Bum. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sirree. I've been looking forward to this all month.
Yeah, gross. Unsurprisingly, things start going wrong. Mickey uses sandpaper instead of a cloth to shine up the boots, tries to get some glue, turning the water pressure up to 11. The pipes are ripped off the walls and ruining Peter's shower, who finds the idea of our trio being Musketeers absolutely hysterical. Just 3 small problems with getting that honor. 1, Donald's a coward. 2,
we're sorry. The number you reached has been disconnected.
This should not be that funny of a gag! This should not be that funny! Anyway, Pete says Goofy's a doofus. And 3, Mickey's just too small. Honestly, Pete laughing at Mickey after scrunching the hat up and saying, have a ball, is why, even though he can be a bit one-dimensional sometimes, he works as an antagonist for this trio. Partly because of how well these characters work off each other. And for those of you wondering, hang on, Sensational 6, how does that work? Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Pete, Minnie, Daisy. There you go. Our trio are left devastated while we head to see Minnie and Daisy. Daisy is voiced by Tress MacNeille, a name I've brought up numerous times here, including her last appearance as Anastasia in Cinderella 2. Hang on a second, that's 3 names I've brought up from Cinderella 2. Because you got Rob Paulson, you got Rusty Taylor, and now you got Tress MacNeille. Huh. That's 3 names. How about that?
Who's the lucky guy?
My one true love. I'll find him someday.
Someday her prince will come. Small thing with the flower Minnie has. Take one of those petals off, and you've got yourself a hidden Mickey.
Trust me, Daisy. I'll know him when I see him.
I'm so proud of myself for spotting that one. The Troubadour gives us the next song of the film, Love So Lovely, with the music taken from the Dance of the Reed Flutes from the Nutcracker and the Romeo and Juliet Fantasy Overture from Romeo and Juliet, both by Tchaikovsky. Yes, Romeo and Juliet was a ballet, believe it or not. This is nothing short of wholesome, and Minnie's gentle smile is just so heartwarming to see as well. While all this is going on, the Beagle Boys are about to drop a safe on Minnie, and you'll see why this is a stupid idea later. They're voiced by Jeff Bennett and Maurice LaMarche, last seen in Lion King 1.5 as Bashful, and 101 Dalmatians 2 as Horace, respectively. Jeff was also Jasper in that film as well. And that just leaves Clarabelle, voiced by April Winchell, last seen in Hunchback 2. No, yeah. Yeah. Yikes, I needed that. I needed that to wash the taste of that disgusting film out of my mouth. And it's one of the worst films I've done so far. And the Major General, voiced by Jess Harnell, who was last seen in Jungle Book 2 as the Buzzards. So the Beagles have to go and tell Pete that they kind of screwed up. Yep, they're all in trouble. They were told to keep her safe, not literally drop a safe on her. Anyway, the plan is to have Minnie out of the way on the night of the opera, which is The Pirates of Penzance by Gilbert and Sullivan. And the plan is to culminate with Pete being king.
Bon voyage, losers.
Well, if you need something done, do it yourself. With the boys in the pit, Pete is ready to begin.
Oh, not so bad.
Well, that was a bit anticlimactic. Minnie wants Musketeers as bodyguards, leading to Pete having the idea of making Minnie, Donald, and Goofy Musketeers.
How about next Thursday?
How about 10 minutes? At the palace! Get me bodyguards, Captain Pete!
Whoa! 10 minutes? No pressure then! So Pete makes the Musketeers. That was easy.
All for one and two for team.
It's all for one and one for all, Goofy. We're off to a great start, aren't we? Oh, great. Goofy mistakes a suit of armor for a bad guy. Pete shows her the bodyguards he hired. She spots Mickey and love at first strike sights. Love at first sight strikes. Blah words. Why can I not speak? This leads to the next song, Sweet Wings of Love, the music taken from Johann Strauss's Blue Danube.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Ropered anyone?
Oh, nice job. Nice job. She's not a bad guy. But Pete is. Even Mr. Troubadour knows. Even he knows who the bad guy is. And... and this leads us to the actual next song of the film. Well, I really need to pay attention to the soundtrack listing sometimes.
Bad guy song!
It is now the bad guy song, bad guy song, bad guy song, and it is said to win the Hall of the Mountain King from Peer Gynt, from the Peer Gynt Suite #1 by Edvard Grieg. And that piece of music was also in Forza Horizon 4 for the gamers out there. The name of the song, though, is Petey's King of France. And this is how you relish in being the bad guy.
Come and cheer me, love and fear me, Petey's King of France! Why'd the music stop?
Hey, don't ask me. I'm just going through the film. Time for the boys to try again at kidnapping the princess, all before the opera tomorrow night. Pete looking perplexed here is so funny. I have no words for it. On Minnie's carriage, Goofy's reading The Complete Idiot's Guide to Musketeering. That is actually quite amusing. What else is amusing is this.
A forbidden love! How romantic!
She's like a scene Aladdin. I'll allow it. The boys get the drop on our trio and classic hijinks ensue. Donald is a coward. This we've already established. Mickey's now in his classic outfit, and Goofy... Oh, he gets punched by a jack-in-the-box in the face! The boys get away with Minnie, but our trio aren't going to give up that easily. They make it to the tower where the boys are holding Minnie and Daisy hostage, and make it all the way up. How many floors? 87 floors! Like that! And have a sword fight. And the boys outsmart the trio. Well, look at that. Competent bad guys for once. That, and it helps they're up against a coward, an idiot, and a midget. Whoa! That's how Pete described them! Donald being the coward, Goofy being the doofus, and Mickey just being too small. Pete's words, not mine! But at least this idiot isn't on the same level of incompetence as the useless Canadian. The useless Canadian would have found a way to screw this up. The trio save Minnie and Daisy. But where's Donald? Oh, he's just right behind them. And they still need to untie the ladies. At least Mickey made Minnie laugh, and that confirms what she said earlier. If someone can make her laugh, he's a keeper. Now it's Sweet Wings of Love. And this is just so cute, seeing these two together. Just wholesome, simple love.
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away.
Back with Pete.
that little ditty's starting to grow on me.
It's simply so catchy! Change of plan. Pete needs to take care of the Musketeers one by one. Goofy's picked off by taking advantage of his stupidity, thanks to Clarabelle. The boys force Donald to run off in cowardice. Pete loses his peg leg, and Mickey...
Donald, I can't understand a word you say.
That. We got a fourth wall break. Like I said in the last episode, save those for Deadpool. Turns out everything about them becoming Musketeers has been one big lie. Still, time to save the day.
It's every dick for himself.
Nice going, coward! This leaves Mickey all alone, and Pete knocks him out. Wait a minute. Only Pixar's allowed to use A113 as an Easter egg, Pete.
Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
MICKEYMOUSE? Pete locks Mickey in the dungeon, leaving him there to drown, all while gloating about how he just can't wait to be king. Mickey's lost all hope while Goofy starts to fall for Clarabelle, leading to the next song.
Your chains of love now hold me tight.
Chains of love! And they're all set to Harbinetta from Bizet's Carmen. The opera songs and music in the film are not from operas. They are actually from operettas, which is a light form of opera and a separate genre. The only music that is truly from an opera is Clarabelle's song, which is from the opera Carmen by Bizet. So Goofy is safe, and Donald...
I'll be a musketeer when clouds fall from the sky.
Well, you're a musketeer now. Back with Mickey, the water falls up the dungeon, and to repeat what I said in Little Mermaid 2, this is a terrifying way to die! 10.5 feet tall to survive? Yeah, this is gonna end well. Donald decides to bury his head in the sand, and he gets called out for being a coward in the most comical way possible.
Gosh, Pluto, could this be the end of the Three Musketeers?
This is the end.
This is the end! All to the tune of Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 in C minor. They get to the dungeon, save Mickey, and we get another hidden Mickey thanks to the air bubbles. We then head to the opera, where one of the boys pretends to be Minnie to hand over the throne to Pete. And this is a callback to The Great Mouse Detective, where Rattigan's plot is creating a robot in the image of the Queen in order for it to make him king.
I did it, Bobby! I'm king of all France!
The songs in the opera are all from The Pirates of Penzance, but not in the correct order, and not presented in the same way as in the play. Poor Wandering One, for example, is a solo, but is performed by a trio in the film. Our heroes give us a chaotic finale, leading to Pete and the boys being arrested.
I hate happy endings.
Well, we love them. The boys officially become Musketeers, and this time, they earned it.
All for one and one for all.
And I'd say that's a very fun version of the timeless tale of the Three Musketeers. Time for the scores. Story, I'm going to give an 8. It was a fun and delightful adaptation of the classic tale. Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in the Three Musketeers brings our favorite trio to life in a way only Disney can. It's well-paced, full of charm, blending humor, adventure, and heartfelt moments with that timeless Disney magic. The animation is bright and energetic. The voice acting perfectly captures each character's personality, and the music adds an extra layer of joy, a wonderful reimagining that's entertaining for both kids and nostalgic adults alike, like myself. The characters, I gave an 8 as well. The main characters are brilliantly brought to life, each maintaining their unique personalities while fitting seamlessly into the Musketeer roles. Mickey's earnestness, Donald's comic anxiety, and Goofy's good-hearted clumsiness blend perfectly, making the trio endearing and entertaining throughout the adventure. The supporting cast, including Minnie, Daisy, and the villainous Pete, add extra layers of humor and excitement to the story. The visuals, I'm going to give them a 9. The animation in Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and the Three Musketeers is vibrant and beautifully realized, capturing the whimsical spirit of classic Disney while giving a fresh, lively look at the beloved characters. The backgrounds are richly detailed, with Parisian settings and the Grand Palace interiors brought to life through vivid colors and dynamic movement. Whew. Each scene is thoughtfully composed, and the expressive animation style ensures that both action sequences and comedic moments are visually engaging for audiences of all ages. The soundtrack, I've got to give the soundtrack an element. The soundtrack is a true highlight, elevating every scene with its lively orchestration and catchy melodies. Classic tunes are cleverly reworked to fit the Musketeer theme, and the musical numbers are both toe-tapping and memorable. The songs not only complement the story, but also inject a dose of fun and energy, making the film's musical moments genuinely stand out. It's the sort of soundtrack you'll find yourself humming long after the credits roll. Legacy, I'm going to give a 7. This film does have a modest legacy, receiving 42% on Rotten Tomatoes, so not really well received by the critics. But at the time of its release, the 3 main characters were featured as costumed figures in Fantasyland at the Disney parks, delighting visitors with their Musketeer attire. Notably, the DVD release of this film was also the first to it was the first to include hang on. Let me get back to this. At the time of notably, the DVD release was the first to introduce Disney's Fast Play, which mimicked VHS-style operation by automatically starting playback rather than waiting for user inputs at the main menu. And you guys will remember this. You guys are definitely going to remember this one. This Disney DVD is enhanced with Disney's Fast Play. Your movie and a selection of bonus features will begin automatically. To bypass Fast Play, select the main menu button at any time. Fast Play will begin in a moment. Oh boy! Anybody else getting nostalgic? Anybody else getting nostalgic over that, or is that anybody else getting nostalgic over that, or is that just me? Now, in addition, the film's influence extended into the gaming world, with a world named Country of the Musketeers, based on the movie, appearing in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. And it also got 2 Annie nominations as well, one for voice acting and one for home media production. The latter, it losing out to Lion King 1.5. Now, the score overall is an 86%. So this film is firmly inside the top 10 on the scoreboard, just behind Pooh's Grand Adventure, which sits on 88%. This is another one I can highly recommend that you give a watch. Any excuse to see our favorite trio in action. So that is it for this episode of The Kingdom of Isolation, looking at Mickey, Donald, and Goofy and the Three Musketeers. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live on this channel. The next episode, oh boy, we're heading back to China. This one's going to end well.
Mulan 2.
But until then, make each moment count, and I'll see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation.